There are many worlds in this universe. The ecosystems of each of those worlds are also different from each other. Some worlds are definitely not like our home planet. It is not even designed for life. There is no doubt that we have seen in many different environmental conditions on our mother planet. So the topic we are going to talk about today is the decryption of the amazing exploration of our neighboring planet Venus.
Venera 13 and the mission to reach Venus.
Venera 13, a Soviet spacecraft, was the first lander to transmit color images from the surface of Venus. Although other landers arrived before and after it, pictures from Venera 13 are more widely circulated because they are in color. The spacecraft was designed to last about half an hour on Venus' harsh surface, but it ended up transmitting data for more than 2 hours after its landing on March 1, 1982. No lander has ventured to the surface of Venus since the 1980s, although several orbiters have made the journey.
Early Venus exploration.
The primary goal of the Venera program was to learn more about the planet Venus. Astronomers once saw the planet as Earth's twin, and some science fiction writers fantasized about advanced life living below Venus clouds. Today, we understand that the planet is a hothouse of pressure-filled atmosphere, capable of crushing an unshielded probe very quickly. Temperatures on Venus can get as high as 870 degrees Fahrenheit for 165 degrees Celsius. Both NASA and the Soviet Union reached for Venus in early days of their space program in the 1960s, but were hampered by a series of failed probes. After the failure of Mariner 1, NASA's Mariner became the first spacecraft to fly by Venus on Deck 14, 1962, revealing a hot planet under high pressure with unbroken clouds shrouding the surface. The Soviets had their first successful Venus mission in 1967 with Venera 4, after several failed attempts to reach the planet. On Oct. 18, 1967, Venera 4 became the first probe to transmit information back to Earth entering the atmosphere of Venus. From there, the Soviets experienced more success. On Deck 15, 1970, Venera 7 was the first spacecraft to make a soft landing on Venus. The spacecraft transmitted information for 23 minutes on the surface before succumbing to the heat and pressure. 5 years later, Venera 9 was the first to send back pictures from the surface.
Venera 13.
Venera 13 launched on Oct. 30, 1981. Aboard a Proton rocket from the Baikonur Cosmodrome, located in today's Kazakhstan. The spacecraft carried several instruments on board, including spectrometers, a drill and surface sampler, and a panoramic camera. After a 4-month journey to Venus, the spacecraft descended through the planet's atmosphere, plunging through the clouds toward the surface. Venera 13 then popped a parachute and loaded all the way down. Venera 13 touched down safely on March 1, 1982, in the southern hemisphere of Venus, on an area that the Lunar and Planetary Institute describes as a typical expanse of Venusian plains. The broad area around the landing site is known to contain lava flows and small dome volcanoes, which may indicate an active surface. The Soviet Union sent 3 more Venera spacecraft to Venus. Venera 14, a twin of Venera 13, launched 5 days later and also reached the surface. It lasted there for 57 minutes. Venera 15 and Venera 16 subsequently orbited Venus together and sent back information between 1983 and 1984.
The surface of Venus from Venera 13